It's something that I always wanted to do, was to open my own restaurant, and it just felt like, Chillicothe, downtown especially, was just primed for a change. And, you already saw some forward momentum, what was going on here, last spring and summer. And this building came on the market, and we looked around already a couple times, and it just seemed to be the right size, the right fit. It already kind of had some of the infrastructure that a building would need to be a restaurant, so it just seemed like the right time for us. Well, I would think the number one thing is our focus is on food, and we're not a bar. We've changed that stigma with this address. And then it's just about a commitment to quality, being the same every day, being consistent and taking great care of our guests. The large percentage of our guests are repeat people that come in here 2 to 3 times a week that we treat almost like family, and it's just a really great feeling, to be honest with you.
Folks do have a chance to kind of look in on what you're doing. You like that feel?
Yes, I think it lets you see what's going on. It kind of takes down like the veil of what's really going on. Who's cooking my food? What's going on back there? You can see everything we're doing. We're not hiding anything. And if you look back there, and people are working in a clean, organized environment, and everybody's having a good time and working together, it just creates a vibe that flows through the service staff, that flows through the door staff, and you can just pick up on it. I think it's contagious, and work should be fun, but work's also work. I always tell people when they come in for the first time to try the meatloaf, and a lot of people look at me like I'm crazy because it's meatloaf, but it's pretty special. It's a recipe that I developed over the last couple years, and I think it's just a good entry note if you come in and you try the meatloaf and you're like, wow, if the meatloaf's this good, and if it's this different than what I'm used to, imagine if I come in and try something else. So it's usually a good starting point for us. If you look at the menu, there is a homage to my grandmother and my mother on there. We have my mom's carrot cake recipe and my grandma's broccoli salad recipe on there, and then I still make things for specials on a day-to-day basis, like our chicken and dumplings back there. That's strictly grandma food, and it's the kind of stuff that I grew up making and eating. That's what we call elevated comfort food, or like the best meal your grandmother would ever make for you is what I want my food to taste like. My last job, I was completely in charge of the menu, the staff. We kind of had, working with our owners, the freedom to do what we wanted, and we developed a style and a core group of items that worked. And I brought, a large portion of that with me here because it's already what I was used to doing. And meat and potatoes in Chillicothe is going to sell. It's just burgers and meatloaf fly out of this place, but we also have found a really good niche with good fresh seafood here in town. People love our tuna apps, our fresh veggies, and all the kind of things that we use that they weren't used to getting in town before. It's just been really good.
It expands to the outdoors here.
Our guests love it. It's just a great way for us to expand our style and our ambiance that we have in here out onto the street. And I can't tell you how many people that have stopped just because they saw that out front. They'd never been to Chillicothe before. They didn't know anything about us, but like, wow, that looked pretty cool. We wanted to come and see what was going on in here. And then they stay and eat, and then they come back again. So to me, it's been great. All summer, it's been packed. Like you said, you drive by in the evenings, and it's usually the first section that gets filled up. So it's just a good way for us to take our inside and kind of show it off on the outside a little bit. I love to cook. If I could do just cooking, that would be my dream job. But there's so much more that comes along with it other than that. Developing staff, ordering, scheduling, paying bills, doing payroll, things that take you away from your passions, but also that's what makes you last a year. If you don't watch all those little things, since nobody else is going to watch them for you. Our lunch clientele is a lot of our guests, our downtown associates, the same regular people we see all the time. So I like that dynamic of seeing the same faces day in and day out. It's a very gratifying thing that people appreciate what you do that much, that they come in all the time. And then at dinner we get a little mixed bag because you get people from out of town working, people from the hotels come down, or Adina has guests and parties, or Kenworth have parties here, or Petland has parties here all the time. So you get a different mix of people from all over the country, not just all over Ross County, and it gives you a unique perspective when people come in here and they're like, oh, we're from here and we've eaten all over, and this food, because we have the window back there where people stop in and, oh, this food was great. I haven't eaten food like this in 5 years. And it lets you know that all that hard work and all that sacrifice is actually paying off because people appreciate what you're doing.